Welcome to the box office, guys. And right now it is pre-fight day, actually pre-fight night. One day before the Charlo brothers step into the ring, and I got a little wager on my mind, but I was going to just place it and leave everything set up so I can talk through it and why I made that decision. But let me go ahead and open this. Let me go ahead and make this a little bigger if I can. Boom, boom. Hopefully you guys can see that. Uh, I hope you guys can. If not, I'll make it a little bigger. There we go. So I'll do this, and then let me get myself on top of that. And let me get my box office logo on top of that. Okay, so now that I got it set up, I want to look at some interesting bets. Whoa, let me clear that one out. So first and foremost, that's our bankroll for this weekend. We don't have too much going in, just because we are getting started with the channel, and I don't want to go, throwing, an unreasonable amount of coin in there. But with that being said, let's move on. So first and foremost, you want to bet on the two guys that are the main event. That's the point of our show here, right? So because it is the point of our show, I'm going to go ahead and select Jamal Charlo. That is my pick. And then Jamal Charlo and Sergey Derevchenko. I really, really love Derevchenko, but for the sake of betting, for the sake that they fought together, I think the last time they fought together, one won, one lost. I'm gonna go ahead and go with Jamal, okay? And I just feel like this is gonna be our not our safe bet, but our more simple bet of the night. So let's go ahead and place 50 on here. Let's go ahead and do that. Just picking the favorites, okay? And the way the parlay works, it means both of them have to win in order for you to get any coin back, okay? So if one wins, you don't, and then if I do, let's say 25 here, you'll only get 27, right? So that's the difference if you do a single bet, or if you want to parlay it. Let me get the other one going. So that was 50. You guys saw how much you'd get for 50 on a single pick. Let me show you. So you'd get 27, but then if you say both of the Charlos are going to win, that jumps up from 27 to 42. Okay, so almost $20 extra just by trying to guess two instead of one. Keep in mind, it is a lot more difficult because in the case of one fight being an upset, the other bout does not matter. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind when it comes to a parlay. That's something to watch out for those of you that are not too familiar. I know boxing, some people just like to watch it or watch. Some people are really into this. People that are coming from football, basketball, college football know exactly what I'm talking about. MLB, all that fun stuff that comes along with it. And that's why it's so intriguing with other sports as well, because they happen every day. So the chances of you going in and doing this and hitting big, it's an everyday thing. Whereas in boxing, we have to wait for fight weekend for it to kind of get the opportunity to show what we got, But first and foremost, let's go with the Charlo brothers. Let's do 50. Let's do 50. Okay, so that's going to be our first one. I'm going to go ahead and leave that there. And then something you want, let's do, so the Charlo brothers, if we do 50, you get that in return. So let's just do it to where we win our initial bankroll, because that should be the goal. 55, no, so let's just do 50. 50 works, okay? So then we'll have 92 plus the 50 that we have if anything else hits. Okay, so that's just our initial one. Let me continue. Don't want to show that too much. So next, okay, so I love to do wild ones. Okay, so something you can look into what we have here, which is by round. Charlo to win in 2 to 3 rounds. Jamal Charlo by decision, dollar for dollar. Take a look at this. $1, because that's what they think. That's what's most likely going to happen. But I like to think outside the box sometimes. I place my main one, which is going to basically make me break even. So for me, the rest of the night would be kind of free real estate, right? If I break even. So sometimes you want to just bet the underdog. You bet 25 there, you'd get 60. You bet 20, you'd get 50 back. So let's say you bet 50, the underdog breaks it right here with 20, you're back at breaking even. So that's even adding a little bit more insurance to what you're doing. You see what I'm saying? So I might come back to that, but I do want to add some put the last 20 on him, because I do think it is a possibility for him to pull off the upset. Opposed to anyone doing the upset, you know, him doing it would be very, very interesting. So now I want to do two parlays. One of them is going to be Charlo, since it's 1-1. I'm going to go ahead and do that, him winning by decision, and then I am going to go to boxing and then go back to against Rosario, and I'm going to have him winning by knockout. Okay, so what that does is it kind of evens out the odds. He's still at a plus, I mean at a minus, because that's what they are planning on thinking. But now when I bet $10, I'd get $10 back. Okay, and this is all covered off of if they both win. So let's say Charlo wins by knockout, and then the other Jermall Charlo wins by knockout also, it's still covered. This bet won't win, but the other one will, and these $10 are down. But let's just say I do get it right, that turns into $70 after I bet 60, right? So then I'm at a plus, right? Another way to go about it that people just like doing is going all in. Okay, so all in. Everyone, you know, I got one bet. This is my bet. I think Jermall Charlo is gonna just win right here, just win. It doesn't matter how he wins. I'm going to bet off 50. But see, when you do that, you only get $10 in return. So that's the tricky part about this whole situation. So you do want to give yourself something, but I'm actually not going to do that one. I'm going to take 2 risks here for you, okay? And I might win, I might lose. It is what it is. It's part of the show. I did a little Instagram story on my Instagram, thinking what people are how it's gonna pan out, and that's what's helping me right now, because I wanted to interact with more of you guys and take your guys' feedback. I'm gonna do something that I do a lot for a lot of these fights, and is Josh Taylor fights. I'm gonna take him. I'm gonna take the favorite here. I'm gonna take the favorite here, and I'm just gonna go down the line and take all the heavy favorites. Okay. Now, this will be broken if and Luis Neri too. That's the only one that potentially, but it should be fine. And then Liam Conroy fights on the 30th. That's another day. I want all of them. Even though there's 7 picks, you go ahead and click $1 and you're winning dollar for dollar. Okay, so let's go ahead and bet another 25. Right, so that means all our favorites are gonna win. Kind of crazy. This is kind of a throwaway bet for me. But it is what it is. We're out here just having fun, right? Let me go ahead and take that reference number out there. And one more bet, which is going to be right here. And I'm actually going to go ahead and bet. This is a $25 bet. My last one is going to be Charlo by knockout, which is really hard to do in boxing. To knock someone out, it is difficult to do. And then the other one is actually going to be, and I'm going to throw a curveball, and this is kind of like throwing a Hail Mary here, okay? I don't think it's going to happen, but it might happen if, you know, the opportunity presents itself. And it's going to be both Charlos winning by knockout, right? And then I put 25 on there. And if that happens, I'll be at a plus 175. Who knows? It might happen, right? I mean, you got to be in it to win it. My only thing that I don't like about this, and maybe I got excited with the camera and with you guys here, is that I'm usually a little bit more conservative when it comes to these bigger bets. I usually do something along the lines of 10, where I get almost all my money back. And then I always do something with the underdog winning as well. So let me show you. So I have $25 just to show you what I'm talking about. So 25, I can bet. That's 22 if the underdog wins, right? So then I would bet that. And then I would bet $10 that they both went by knockout. And it is $70. But for the just entertainment purposes, I'm going to go ahead and put the 25. The 25 should be covered if all the favorites win and if the Charlos win. So them winning by knockout, not too much. I'm gonna go ahead and just place it just for the sake of having fun here with you guys and seeing how we'll go about that later. I do see the fights, especially that main event is going to be a tough one. Charlo is in for a dogfight. Now, I do think it does play to him to some extent. And for those of you who have never been to Bovada, you can bet on simulated games, NBA Blitz League, Japan women's basketball or women's JBL, hockey. You can bet on everything, and everything is to your access. Keep in mind, do go about this responsibly. Odds differ from site to site. That's what I'm looking at right now. Look at this. Denver Nuggets, Lakers to win. You think they'll win by more than 5 points. And then sometimes, like I said, one of my guilty pleasures here is football, the live betting on football, because let's say, let me get NFL for you guys here. Let's say I feel like, and I'm confident that Philadelphia Eagles are going to win. I'm confident that, I feel like, I don't know who else. I'm not. See, this is why I stay away from football. The Cardinals are going to win, and then I'm going to go back over to boxing, and, I'm going to set this up with Charlo's winning, and then you go in here and you put the parlay, right? And this is just for example, and you put 1-1, 2-1, well, 3, you know what? Let's do 50. And then you make this illusion, and then you get pulled up and upset in football, and your boxing wins hit. So I try to stay away from all the other sports and just stick to what I've known and what I've had success with. This was a rough one because I do think Sergey has a legit chance. Like, I think people are really underestimated what he did against Triple G. And then he even put a beat down on the guy that Johnson that Munguia's gonna fight. He put a beat down on him too. The only thing with him is he looked a little drained. That's why I was a little more confident in putting 2 knockouts. But we'll see. I mean, they have to fight. It's part of the game plan, and we'll see who comes out on top. The thing with me is whoever controls the distance and whoever can fight at the pace they want to fight is going to come in and take that win. Simply put, the Charlo brothers do have a really good chance in both winning and being champions and holding titles. They were mentioned with the Klitschko brothers, right? So I don't think they're to that level, but I do think that they can be potentially. A lot of they like playing the villain. They know what they're good at. They know how to get the crowd going. But for the most part, those were my picks, guys. We're gonna see if they come true. Eventually, I'm going to just have you guys do the picks through Instagram. I'll put them into my story. I'll have people vote. That's what I did today. Now, if I think it's something far-fetched where people are trolling, I'll go ahead and fix it. But those were my picks, Charlo brothers. And I do know that Chavez is fighting right now, so we'll see. We'll see how to go about this whole fight night. And just remember, be responsible with it. For me, I had already funds into that account that I had acquired a while back. So keep in mind when adding funds, if you guys have any questions, shoot me a message. If you guys have any questions about who to wager on my Instagram, you can go ahead and, especially boxing. But other than that, those were my picks. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let's see if we win. I'll make a video on Monday, and I'll just recap the weekend, and I'll even make like little highlights and all that fun stuff. All right, guys, take care. I'll see you guys later. Fight week finally here. All right.